Oh boy, here we go again. Ready for month 2? Let's go. And here we are, season 1, episode 3. This is my month 2 update. You know, before we get started though, let me just have a quick drinky drink of my Chardonnay out of the finest of McDonald's Batman Begins glassware. Only the finest. So how did this past month go? Well, it was a bit of a ride. We had some ups and downs, and all of that is summed up in my last video where I talked about my very first mammogram that turned into a biopsy. So I'm not going to go back into all of that, but it did cut into some of my focus on my fitness this month. To remind everyone, I have 3 pillars that I'm trying to follow in my recent fitness journey. And let's go ahead and jump into the first one right now, which is education. So my focus for education this month was to research the best type of workout for me. So the education pillar and the movement pillar are kind of hand in hand this month. But for the education part, I went online and did a bunch of silly quizzes to tell me about my body type and workout style that would work best for my body type. And most of them were just silly and gave me no information. But I'll share with you a few that did. We have this one here from quiz.betterme, and it basically gave me my BMI, which was nice, and my body type, which was endomorph. Sounds like something from the movie Aliens. I may be an alien though. It basically hit the nail on the head. My metabolism is slow and it's super easy for me to gain weight. I gain weight very quickly and lose it very slowly. It feels like no matter what I've restricted.
I feel like I have to laugh to keep from crying.
Or counted or done. So this one was pretty good. It was easy to follow, though I don't know how much any of these quizzes that you can do online that have nothing to do with a doctor or your actual biology. But I guess it's a kind of a jumping off point. So it was nice to know that I could start researching stuff about my body type, investigating what exactly it means to have an endomorph, I hope I'm saying that correctly, body type. And I'll just sum it up here for you real quick. Basically, an endomorph body type is describing people who are generally naturally overweight.
Christopher Maloney is what I imagine when I say I want a thick daddy.
Which I've always been my whole life, except for a brief portion in my 20s, but most of my life I've been overweight. And the body is generally softer and rounder. Nothing wrong with that, but that's kind of the description of an endomorph type. On this website, it gave a description of athletes on a track. If you think about all the different types of events, they were explaining that endomorphs are more in the range of shot putters with dense bone mass and generally more body fat and a lot of muscle mass. And they say basically the biggest difference between the body types is just kind of metabolic rate, which I still don't quite understand, so I might have to continue my education on that. So after researching a couple of articles and going through a few different quizzes, it kept kind of popping up that the most suggested type of workout for me would be a metabolic workout. So I had to, again, educate myself on that. What is a metabolic workout? I'm going to reference this website that I found called foundryfit.com, and I'll put a link to them down below, which help explains what a metabolic workout is like and why it is what it is. So metabolic training is basically a exercise program that helps you burn fat both like while you're exercising and also while you're not. So it's supposed to up the metabolic rate to help you burn fat or calories when you're also not working out. And to sum it up, it's basically where you do kind of the maximum amount of movements for a core, not a core, but a whole body workout, where there's little to no rest in between. So you hop from exercise to exercise to exercise, and once you get through the whole set, then you can take a break for like 2 minutes, which is different than some other exercise programs I've done where you really blow yourself out for as long as you can and then you rest for like 90 seconds and then you go back in. This is different. You get through all of the different exercises and then you rest for like 2 minutes and you go back into it. I found a YouTube video with this man. He, I believe, is part of the Fit Dad and Fit Mom project. You can correct me if you need to, but I'll link it down below. But he was explaining a metabolic workout program, and I just took a quick screenshot of the steps that he was explaining, and we will talk more about this workout in the movement portion of the video a little bit later. But it seemed pretty simple and easy for me to understand. So this is the one I chose to go with. Basically, the selling point for a metabolic workout were these 3 points. You burn more calories when you work out, you burn more calories at rest, you build muscle faster, and also you get quite a cardiovascular benefit from it. It was pretty exhausting. So I agree with that. And I have been very sore. So I kind of feel like I've been burning calories at rest, I'm just saying. So yeah, that was my education portion for this month. I was just wondering, did any of you guys out there do any self-education this month? And what did you do? What were you looking into and what were you educating yourself on? Education doesn't just have to be for nutrition or fitness. It could be anything. It could be just learning a new skill. I would highly suggest, if you have the means, to join something like LinkedIn Learning. You can literally take a new class every day and learn something new. So I could sprinkle in this week in particular, I have been taking courses on project management. It's about 18 hours long, and I just started it this week. So I'm only at the very beginning, but they have little quizzes in between each one of the sections to make sure that you're paying attention and learning, and it's been super helpful. So get out there today and learn. School is school. Let's move on to pillar number 2, self-care. So for self-care this month, I just kind of went out to my library, not physically on my phone, and I searched for books to listen to that had to do with empowering yourself, reducing negative self-talk, and just trying to be more comfortable in your own skin. Those were some of the keywords that I searched. And what I decided to pick up and read was a book by the famous Mia Michaels. And if you don't know who that is, she's probably most famous for being a choreographer on So You Think You Can Dance, being a strong, independent, say whatever she feels like she needs to say woman. And I believe she also choreographed Finding Neverland for Broadway. But she wrote a book called A Unicorn in the World of Donkeys, a guide to life for all the exceptional, excellent misfits out there in the world, or something like that. And I don't want to misrepresent the book, so I'm going to read the review plot summary from Amazon, and I'll also put a link to the book down below. And I said it again, I said I wasn't going to say it. An empowerment manifesto for creative misfits, innovators, and disruptors, from the star of So You Think You Can Dance and the creator of Broadway's Finding Neverland. A Unicorn in the World of Dance offers a playbook for living a creative, authentic life. using her own story as a launch spot, and creative quizzes, charts, and lists that engage the reader on an interactive journey, Mia Michaels explores the experience of a unicorn in the world of donkeys, a world where fitting in, pleasing others, following rules, and maintaining norms, no matter how messed up those norms are, is the only acceptable path. She acknowledges the struggles of a unicorn: life, loneliness, ridicule, being misunderstood and undervalued, and goes on to encourage readers to reframe the unicorn life the way she has, as essential to a life of brilliance. So, and actually, it was really good. It was really interesting to learn all of the struggles that Mia Michaels, who, if you just know her as a celebrity the way I do, she seems very strong, independent, and confident, to find out where all of that came from, the struggle that she went through growing up, and how she never I shouldn't say never, I don't want to ruin anything for you, but how she figured out how to overcome all of those struggles and follow the path to her greatest joy. An F it to anyone else who was trying to, I guess, dull her sparkle, to take her unicorn horns. And it was really inspiring to hear it from someone who's been through a lot. And to look at her, you think, oh, she's rich and she's famous, and what does she have to worry about? But it was eye-opening to see where she had come from to get to where she is. And a couple of great stories about Prince in there too. Just go read it if you want. It's an amazing, inspiring book to kind of remind you that there's nothing wrong with being a donkey, but it's so much more fun to be a unicorn and not care about what other people think of you. Only care about what you think of you and follow those passions and those desires, because those are going to be the things that light you up and bring you the most joy in life. There was a lot in the book that I feel like I related to, and it really brought everything down to earth. So check it out if you want to. And if you have any other suggestions for, I don't want to particularly say self-help books, but books like that have inspired you to be the best version of you, put them in the comments down below, because I'd really like to have a nice well of creativeness to pull from for my next library download. So let's move on to number 3, movement. Okay, so for movement, I had went back and forth on whether or not I should get a gym membership. I wasn't sure if it was the right thing for me. I've had gym memberships in the past. I love going to the gym, but stuff always inevitably happens, and then you end up not going because this, that, or the other. But I finally landed on getting one, and I got one at Planet Fitness, is where I've been before. I like Planet Fitness. They have a lot of options. They've got a lot of space, at least the one by me. And then they have a lot of perks like the massage chairs and the hydro massage chairs, and they have the beauty essence room, which I absolutely love. It seems like a stand-up tanning bed, but it's not UV. It's like all red light or whatever. So basically what I was calling it the Red Room of Death, but it's called the Beauty Angel. But it's a non-invasive method of turning back the hands of time. The Beauty Angel utilizes 30 full-body red light lamps, non-UV, together with a platform-based vibration exercise technology to stimulate the body and create the ultimate rejuvenation and muscle toning environment. So basically, you go into this pod and all the red lights are on you, and it's like 10 minutes. The base will vibrate, and you hold on to these little handles at the top, and you just relax. You don't do anything, you just stand in there. It does play music, but I was listening to my podcast, and I think it's really relaxing because there's literally nothing else that I can do but just stand there and relax for 10 minutes. I'm not required to do anything else or think or anything. So it was one of the perks that made me decide to go ahead and go back to Planet Fitness. So Plus, being a Black Card member, I can bring somebody with me every time. And I have a 17-year-old who likes to work out from time to time. So it's a nice little perk to be able to be like, hey, let's go. He can get a workout, I can get a workout, and we're good to go. So jumping back to the metabolic workout, I showed this picture earlier of the different exercises and the order that he put them in. I did follow this exactly. And as he was explaining it, he said that if you can get through it 1 to 3 times, it's a beginner. Past that, you're getting to being excellent and advanced. I got through it 2 times. I was absolutely spent at the end of 2 times, and I have been feeling it ever since. But it was fun and challenging and not long at all. Doing it 2 times, I was probably only working out for 8 minutes. And I've been paying for those 8 minutes ever since. I also did jump on the machine. I don't know what it's called. But it just I call it the high stepper machine. It's not a treadmill, it's not an elliptical, it's the other one. I did jump on that for about 10-15 minutes too, just to kind of warm myself up before going into the metabolic workout. And then when I was done with that, I went over to the Planet Fitness 360 machine thing and did the rope pull for about 2.5 minutes. I wanted to do it for 5, but I forgot how absolutely hard just standing there and pulling a rope is. And I did it for absolutely as long as I could, and was completely spent at that point. Jumped over to the other side. I can't remember what they call each little section, but it's the one that has the stretcher seat, and really stretched out my back and stretched out my legs. And then I hopped over to the massage chair and got myself a nice massage. And I just got the Planet Fitness membership this week, so I've only went twice, but I do plan on making it a habit. And that's really going to help me with the movement portion of my fitness journey. So if anybody else has tried a metabolic routine, let me know. And if you have any tips or tricks on how to get more sets in, that would be excellent. Right now, like I said, I got through 2 sets, and my goal by the end of month 3 update is hopefully I can come back to you guys and say that I could get through 3 sets. And possibly 4. But right now I struggle to even do a push-up, and there are 2 sets of push-ups in this workout, and I try. I try really, 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 really hard to do them. And it was like boom, boom, boom. Do the squats with the shoulder press, boom, into the next thing. So you do 10 of those, and then into the next, and into the next, and into the next. And then I gave myself like a 2-minute break before I started the set again. And then at the end of that one, I was like, I don't think I can do any more without hurting myself. So there we were. I'm pretty proud of myself, but hey, to each his own. Well, that is it. I think the last thing to do is put up my stats. We have the stats from last month and where I am at today. So again, not huge movements. I am pretty proud of myself despite the break. I am just going to keep going, and I think you should keep going too. If you have anything that you want to talk about, just message me down here in the comments and we'll start a conversation. Other than that, I'll be thinking about you and supporting you. Keep it up, and I love you so much. I'll see you next month. Bye. I'm going to finish up my wine. I'm going to wish you guys all out there the bestest of luck. I love you so much. I want you to keep going, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you next month. Bye.